Hello guys, how are we doing? Welcome to my first patch note video of MW3. Season 1 has dropped finally, and we're going to be looking at things affecting ranked play, including movement changes, spawn changes, weapon balancing, and a few other bits. Now you guys are probably wondering, wait, ranked play's not out, there can't be changes for something that's not out, and yet you bang on. Ranked play is due to be dropping early January, mid-season 1, so probably season 1 reloaded. But we have already got the map set, the rule set, the meta, and everything that's going to be in ranked play. Because thankfully, the CDL pros have been playing a lot. There's been tournaments left, right, and centre. If you're a follower of the channel, you know there's 8 going around, which is basically just private match 4v4 to get warmed up for ranked play. So there are going to be changes to the current state of competitive MW3, which are going to be visible when MW3 ranked play does drop in, hopefully about a month's time. So yeah, first thing that we're going to be kicking off with is just a description of what the gameplay is. The gameplay is in the background an 8's lobby. It is just that I get just about 2 KD, and it's not a bad gameplay, but you're not really here for that. Realistically, you're here for the patch notes. But just as if you're wondering, it is a 4v4 private match in an 8's lobby with competitive rules and all that malarkey. I'm going to be putting the patch notes down in the description below, so if you want to check these out and have a read through literally everything, because there has been a bunch of changes that I just can't squeeze into this video regarding multiplayer outside of ranked play and zombies and all those sort of things. Just feel free to check that out down in the description. But for now, we're going to be looking at the thing that is most intriguing to me first, and that is the 2 6v6 maps that have been entered into multiplayer in MW3. Currently, there are 6 CDL maps in total. And that includes Harrz, Invasion, Karachi, Skid Row, Subbase, and Terminal. However, I'd like some more. I'm always up for more maps, and I've just had a look at the overview, which I'm going to be putting up here, of the 2 maps we are going to be getting. The first one is called Greece, which is obviously probably set in Greece. It seems a very narrow SMG heavy map, a lot of alleys, corners, and buildings. Probably not CDL worthy, and ranked play worthy, simply because of how SMG dominant it will be. But I haven't played it yet. I'm interested to try it out, and then hopefully we can, give it a go. Then we have Meat, which is a small, chaotic map. There is a little bit more longer line of sights than what we see in Greece. It seems to be, I've seen a bit of gameplay on it from other creators, but there seems to be a potentially similar size to Bocage from Vanguard, which was a competitive map, and Shoothouse and MW3, which wasn't. I'd like the pros to give them a try. In my opinion, I don't think any of these will be in, just because they're a bit obscure and they're not like traditional maps. But I want the pros to give these a try and see whether or not they're comp. If you guys have played it already and you guys have played the maps, let me know. And yeah, let me know whether you think it's competitive worthy or not. We then have a couple of new guns. 3, we have a launcher, a sniper, and an AR. Obviously, the launcher's not going to be in ranked play, so we're going to be looking at the Ram 7, which is going to be a bit more of a faster AR, so it's going to be more of a flex AR. And then we have a XRK Stalker sniper, similar to the Intervention. And chances are, as is any sort of Call of Duty update, any new guns introduced into the game are going to be very strong, because they're going to want people to play it, to unlock it in the Battle Pass. So yeah, they're probably going to be strong, and as a result, I think they're going to be GA'd by the pros by the time ranked play drops, and as a result, I don't think we're going to be seeing them in ranked play. But again, I want the pros to give the guns a chance. I'd like them to give it a go, and if they're viable, if they're overpowered, I get it, absolutely fine. But at least if they're viable, I wouldn't mind a 3 meta gun. Get a Ram 7 in there. As far as snipers are concerned, I don't know whether they're including snipers yet. I don't think it's been officially agreed, even considering CDL starts in a few days. But yeah, I don't think pros. I think pros like to stick with the meta they've built, which is the Rival 9 and the MCW, and they're just going to stick with that. I don't think they're going to change, just from my feelings of how the past few years have gone. We then have a change in movement, which is a nice thing to see. They're changing things post release of the game, and I'm all for that. So, movement. Interestingly, they have nerfed snaking, which I'm very pleased about. I have seen some things which allude to the fact that it's not completely nerfed. It's still doable, but it is hindered by this nerf. So there is a delay in stance transitioning. So they've added a delay from crouch to stand of 150 milliseconds. And they've also added a delay of prone to stand. So if you go from prone and then press jump or sprint, you will immediately go to stand. And that now has a delay of 600 milliseconds, which should hopefully make snaking really quite annoying to do, a lot harder to do smoothly. And I just hope people aren't going to do it as much. And hopefully this is enough. We'll see when we get our hands on it. But if you've already tried it and you think it's not enough, let me know what else you think they could do, whether they just enhance the delay or add some sort of fatigue. So yeah, talking of fatigue, they're also added, or they've added a stamina bar. Now this stamina bar basically tells you when your attack sprint runs out, so you can walk and sprint regularly as much as you want. However, there's obviously a attack sprint in this game, which is the super fast sprint where your gun's flying through the air, and there is going to be a stamina bar, which hopefully displays how long you can do that for, and when it runs out, and then when it's full again, you can do it. I wouldn't mind that being a similar thing to what happens when you're snaking. You can see when you, as soon as you go from prone to stand and you're snaking, the stamina bar drops by half, so it allows you to do it twice or something like that. That would be a nice change in my opinion, but I like that they're doing something about it at least. Next thing is potentially the most important thing in this whole patch note for the competitive scene is spawns. Word for word, they have adjusted spawns to improve flow of combat and increase control of team-owned areas. That's what they've put in their patch notes, and for me, that says they're just going to fix a lot of crap. They're going to fix a lot of the people spawning behind you. They're going to fix the spawns that just don't make sense. And from the segment which says increase control of team-owned areas, if a team's in a certain situation, I think they're going to have more squad spawns directly on them, and the enemy team's going to be spawned out. Just copy and paste MW2 spawns. Competitive MW2 spawns were maybe not completely logical, but they were learnable and were logical once you learned them. So yeah, for me, just do what you can to make it quite similar to that, because it took relative skill to learn how to block, how to release a spawn and things like that. It wasn't random, it was controllable. I wouldn't mind something like that, but it's nice to see they're aware of the issue. Kudos to Sledgehammer, you know, for listening to the public and understanding that does need to be changes, and I'm glad they're making them. So hopefully when we jump in to ranked play, they're fixed ready for that. Then we have some gun balancing. So there's been a couple of balances across the board, which I'm not going to mention them all. The MCW and the Rival, which are the current competitive meta, haven't been touched. However, there has been a buff to the Striker, the WSP Swarm, and the Striker 9. Basically what they've done, they've decreased the sprint to fire time and ADS time, so they're a little bit more mobile. Now for me, I mean, they're pretty mobile enough, don't get me wrong, but this just makes them potentially a competitor to the Rival 9 in that they might be a new meta. Obviously, I haven't had my hands on the guns yet because I haven't played yet. This is recorded pre-season, but yeah, hopefully. The Swarm's disgusting. The Swarm's disgusting. It kills very quickly, has low recoil if you put the right tantrums on. If they buff the ADS time and the sprint to fire time, that gun could be deadly, and we might actually see that being used or GA'd by the pros. The final thing I want to mention is the fact that they have adjusted the control spawn points, because basically if you look at this image here, the red team are the attackers and the blue team are the defenders. As you can see, the attackers get to potentially both spawn points, but definitely be far quicker than the defenders, which if you guys have played control, that should never happen. So basically they've flipped the two so that the defense is a bit closer to B&A, and offense, they have to actually make some map control and control the map flow towards a certain point to get it. So it's a bit player, hopefully a little bit more traditionally compared to what the map currently says it's going to do. So yeah, it's nice to see they're fixing the game. And I want to know what your takes are from this. Have a read the patch notes. Is there anything that I've missed out that you think will affect rank play? Let me down in the comments. But let me know an overall review of how you think Sledgehammer Games are dealing with the first couple of months of multiplayer so far. But yeah, that's actually going to do it for me. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it useful. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave it down in the comments below. Ciao for now.
They can only come front. They can only come tunnel. They can only come tunnel.
Actual shit stains, bro. One more tunnel weak. He's laid down right side tunnel.
It's on me. Rotate.
You're right. I'm at new already.
I've spawned out.
Confirming next hard point. Stand by.
I didn't get that scrap, bro. We went off scrap.
Yeah, safe. I've got your whole right. Okay, just don't try not to die.
Like close left on P5, bro.
Dead.
Nice.
Good shit.
I'll take it.
Nice.
GG.
Easy.
Secured the field. Mission accomplished.
Played, boys.
Mate, Butcher, that is clutch time out.
Yeah.
2 minutes.
Love that shit.
If I can't stay, I play inside. That's my rule.
GG, bro.
GG's, boys.
GG's, lads.
Yeah, I don't make myself.
Back in the Marcel.